What's up, guys? This is Jim with Digital Asset Today. Hope everybody's doing well in these trying times. I have this give up because I'm sure we're all feeling the heat a little bit, but I mean, it's important to note that hey, this is our office, this is our playground. Crypto is the asset we chose to play around with, and this is what we get. It's a high volatility place to be. So, yeah, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen, and worst comes to worst, just hodl. So, um, if you'd like to subscribe, I'm going to be giving some tips and kind of you can follow me. I consider myself a student of the market, of cryptocurrencies, and of technical analysis. You're welcome to kind of follow my journey. I'm, not some guru or anything like that. I'm not going to be making calls. I'm not going to be telling you to buy anything. It's just sort of what I'm looking at and what I find really interesting, and hopefully that's valuable to you as well. Yesterday, we just gave a presentation with my buddy Baban as part of the Chiang Mai crypto meetup, and it was great. I was talking to Charles, the owner of Food for Thought, the venue we were at, which is great, by the way, and we had a packed house. It was over 100 people, according to him, so that was really cool, and really cool to kind of get the community together and have a lot of people learning together. I actually... that's where I picked up my, that's where I first got started, is going to one of these meetups. So wherever you are in the world, I highly encourage you to go to meetup.com or go on Facebook and try and find a local group where you can talk to people in real life, get off of Twitter, get off of YouTube and talk to real people and accelerate your learning. So that's great. And like I said, you can click below to subscribe. I'd eventually like to be, my plan is that I'd like to get a platform together in which I can actually attract some really high-end crypto traders and interview them and share their strategies, hopefully, and so we can all learn together. So basically, if I can get an audience together, I think that'll be kind of more attractive, and that'll help me obviously attract bigger, more profitable traders. So anyway, without further ado, let's look at Bitcoin. Yes, it is messy. It sucks, but like I said, especially if you guys just started, if you just got in, or if you bought Bitcoin. I mean, I was thinking this was the top, back when we were getting here, and then just all of these noobs coming in and just buying all the way up into 20K. And I'm like, wow. Can't believe people are still buying it, but so if you bought up here and you're here, that's it's okay. It's with this happened back in 2013, and this is how people learn. It's all about wow, you can't even see it now, right? So back here, bloop, just a little bloop. If we go check out the log, it's a little more clear. But anyway, so it's okay. It's gonna be all right. This is where you learn, and this is how things go here in crypto land. So anyway, things that I'm looking at, I'm going to go to the 4-hour chart. Let me get rid of the Ichimoku for now. So I drew an extension, actually. So this is the level that I'm looking at. This is actually a retracement, sorry. So if this is 0%, this is 100%. We're looking at how much of this move are we going to take back, right? We're going to get to 70% of that move, 60%. This is typically the area that most traders consider interesting, kind of between 61 and 78 fib levels. So I drew this box here, and I'm also, now typically you can draw an extension in bullish fashion, but you can also draw it in a bearish fashion, right? So if we take this high, and again, I'll zoom in just a little bit so you can see that better. So I drew it from the top here, right at the bottom, and then kind of the next lowest top. And if we look at the 100%, that gives us this box right here, which I drew. And that also lines up with this 60%, 61% right here. So I find that very interesting. And I also find this, I'm Bitstamp. That's why sorry, I'm on the wrong chart, but that's okay. We also see this previous consolidation area here, right? So this is really our only previous level of support here. And because before that, we had not much going on there, especially if you go in the 1 day. I mean, I guess we have this little blip here, but if you zoom out into the daily, I mean, we really just kind of shot right up. So when that happens, we don't form proper levels of support, and that means we're just going to fall right through it. Let me go to Bitfinex. Yeah, okay. Right, so we have this extension that kind of lines up with this consolidation area. I also have some trend lines here because Bitcoin loves to come back and touch trend lines. So we have this broader one back here. We have 2 points, so it could come back down to these levels, maybe to 6,000 ish, and then this trend line here, which is what I really like, and that actually lines up with this fib level here, as well as the other fib level, as well as the 61.8% level. And we have this trend line here. So like that could be interesting. That would be convenient. I don't know if that's gonna pan out, but I like this area in general is what I'm looking at and where I'm going to be buying the dip. Now, when I say buying the dip, I mean to catch what we call the dead cat bounce. So that means that's the bounce after a big dump, and then it doesn't quite reach the top again, and we don't take off, and that's typically a sign that we've entered a bear trend. So at this point, we've all but confirmed that we've entered a bear trend. I mean, we'll see, pending any insta magic that happens. We broke this. We broke 10K. Looks like we're overdue for a bear trend. So we could be looking at a couple weeks, a couple months, or a couple days of just bleeding off. We don't know. But we're gonna see. So, right, and I'm looking for the bounce to come up here-ish again, just because I'm looking at the daily Ichimoku cloud. So we get this bear cross. So the Tenken is crossing over the Kijun. So that means this light blue line, that's a faster EMA type line. And then the Kijun, which is the slower moving line, they're crossing. So it's kind of like a moving average, kind of like a moving EMA type derivative thing, but not quite. I can go into that in another video. Anyway, so these are going to cross over, and the cloud tends to act. We've already broke through the cloud, and now the cloud is considered resistance. It was considered support. We broke right through it, and often, if you break through these walls, you will just come straight through. And a lot of times, you find that once you pierce the cloud, you'll hit the other edge of the cloud. And so I'm thinking maybe we come back down to this is a little broad, but whatever. Anyway, I think we're gonna come up here, maybe bounce somewhere around here. And again, when we look for the bounce, we want high volume. We don't. The reason that we haven't gotten the bounce yet is because we haven't gotten the bull volume yet. And then I'm looking at this zone to kind of exit most of my positions in my altcoins, etc. I mean, I'm mostly in cash at this point, but luckily I was positioned decently well. I mean, of course, it'd be great if we all could have just taken our profit at the top, but that's all in hindsight, obviously. So it's what we do. So we look at this dump. I see a couple things, right? We see these kind of continual bear flags. What I'm calling bear flagception. And we got this thing, right? And then what we knew when this was happening right here, we broke that trend line. It's like, all right, I guess we're getting another leg down. And I mean, it's trying. It's kind of it's just a slow grind. I mean, maybe we could see this kind of cup form. We could see maybe a cup and handle type thing. I don't even really ever draw a cup and handle, but it's kind of when you'll see it like round out, pull back, and then take off again. So we could see it like that. I doubt it though. Really, typically Bitcoin really dumps to shit, and then we get a massive bull volume candle. And what we're looking at, what we haven't done yet, is we haven't exceeded. Look at all this bear volume, right? And the bull candles haven't been able to exceed that yet. I mean, basically, all this volume is weak. So bulls, your shit, it's weak. You need to step it up, bulls. And that's okay though. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. So still waiting. Still looks like we're still dumping. It's rough, I know. I highly recommend not checking your Blockfolio. It's rough. Cool. I think that just about covers the charts. If you guys have any questions, you can feel free to put them in the comments below. I'd love to answer user questions and all that kind of stuff. So like I said, trying to engage with the audience, trying to attract some high-end crypto traders and kind of create value for everybody. I think that'd be really cool. And I'd like to, instead of having a podcast, I'd like to see if we can actually get traders, on Skype, so I can actually kind of chart with them. We can see what their charts look like, what they're thinking, how they trade, and that kind of thing. So again, I'd much appreciate if you guys could help me out in that instance. Anyway, we'll move on to that's Coinigy. Move on to some news. BitConnect is a scam, confirmed. We all knew that, but unfortunately, we had to go through. It was funny because I was on CoinMarketCap and I was searching like BitConnect, just Control F, and it wasn't on the front page. I was like, oh, that's weird. Where'd it go? Mine was wow. And yeah, confirmed. BitConnect shut down lending because they're a Ponzi scam, meaning they were borrowing money in a continuous cycle until finally the price of Bitcoin did not support what they were doing, and everybody's losing a lot of money. So if you if you see anybody on YouTube that's telling you that asked you to invest in BitConnect, or they had a referral link or whatever, they don't care about you. They care about money. So that's important to note. And I would, pull them out of your media bucket personally. Anyway, other thing I'm looking at is the total market cap of all cryptocurrency. So you can look at this kind of like a chart, but for every single cryptocurrency. And you'll see that we still kind of have some room to drop. So this is just one thing that I'm looking at. In that, hey, we're not totally screwed. Right? So we have a little bit of room. So we're pretty much screwed. I mean, we're gonna dip below that line probably. But that's okay. Just something I'm looking at. We could, kind of the entire market could kind of bounce off that level. Maybe that's what we'll look at when we get down to this level that I was talking about. Again, that's somewhere between 8,000 and 6,000 ish, I think. But we'll see. We shall see. BitConnect closes. In other news, there's more China FUD. So China is trying to clamp down, and they're literally making it, I think, illegal to actually use cryptocurrency. I haven't even read it. I don't know. At this point, I'm mostly looking at charts. I don't care that much about news because we see China FUD over and over and over and over again. And again, if that you don't know, FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And we'll see what happens. But China, it's a totalitarian government trying to be controlling and totalitarian. That's what they do. So it's kind of a bummer. But Bitcoin moves on. You can't control Bitcoin. So that's the point. All right. In other news, Peter Brandt posted this chart. He's calling for somewhere between 8,700 to similar level. He's a little bit higher up, and he's also not kind of explaining it too much. He's just giving this as a potential target. He's not saying whether that's going to take off and go bull. He's not saying whether that's going to go bear. He's just kind of putting this target there. So I think that's really good. Peter Brandt is also a prolific trader. He's done the the traditional markets forever, and now he's gotten into Bitcoin a little bit. Crypto Cobain, who usually doesn't post anything valuable, to be honest, but usually just kind of shit posts. But anyway, this is a really good point. So when you buy the bottom on a dip, so we get a massive dump, and you buy the bottom on Bitcoin, consider instead going with kind of the higher cap coins. Think about Monero, Zcash, Ethereum. I had made a move on Neo today and caught a nice little bounce, actually. I don't usually day trade, but that worked out pretty well for me. So yeah, because basically you're going to see them make the same move. They basically are correlated pretty well with Bitcoin, but they will often make exaggerated gains. So that's pretty nice. And I'm running out of time, so I would chart that out. I would show you what that looks like, but I'll show you another time. Anyway, please, shoot me a subscribe here. That would really help me out. And if you have any questions at all, put some comments below, and I'll gladly make a video to answer your question. So stay calm and make sure you manage your risk. Good luck, guys.